My beloved child. Listen carefully, because what is about to unfold is not ordinary. There is a reason you found this message at this exact moment. Out of all the voices you could have listened to today, something quietly led you here. That is why I need you to stay focused. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Your soulmate has been carrying something inside their heart since this afternoon. It was not planned. It was not expected. One single moment changed the direction of their thoughts, and since then, they have been searching for the right way to explain everything. They have replayed the same conversation in their mind again and again, wondering if you would ever understand what truly happened. At first, it looked like an ordinary afternoon. The sun still filled the sky. People continued with their routines. Everything around them appeared completely normal. But beneath that calm surface, something unexpected happened that no one else could see. It was quiet. It was personal. And it left your soulmate standing completely still. Don't skip. Because the next part of this story explains why they have been unusually silent. There was a moment when your name crossed their mind so suddenly that it interrupted everything they were doing. It wasn't because someone mentioned you. It wasn't because they were trying to remember you. It happened naturally, almost as if an invisible reminder reached their heart at the perfect time. For just a few seconds, they stopped. They looked around. Nothing had changed around them. Yet everything had changed inside them. That feeling refused to disappear. The more they tried to ignore it, the stronger it became. They asked themselves questions they had been avoiding for a long time. What if I misunderstood everything? What if I never truly expressed what I felt? What if they deserved to know the truth? Those questions stayed with them all afternoon. Every answer seemed to lead back to you. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Your soulmate now realizes there is something they should have explained much sooner. They never expected the afternoon to uncover emotions they believed were hidden forever. Yet life has a mysterious way of bringing unfinished stories back into the light. As the hours passed, little reminders kept appearing. A familiar place. A familiar song. A familiar smile on someone else's face. None of those things were about you directly. But every one of them reminded them of you. Each reminder quietly removed another wall they had built around their heart. They could no longer pretend nothing had changed. And then came the moment they will never forget. Someone asked them a simple question. It seemed ordinary. But inside, it felt enormous. The question was so simple that anyone else would have answered it without hesitation. Instead, they became silent. Because the honest answer pointed directly toward you. That silence revealed something they had been trying to hide from themselves. Their heart had already chosen its direction. Don't skip. The explanation becomes even more surprising from here. They walked away from that conversation with emotions they couldn't describe. For the first time in a long while, they weren't thinking about yesterday. They weren't worrying about tomorrow. They were thinking about one thing only. Whether you would still be willing to hear their side of the story. Whether there was still time. Whether the distance between two hearts could still be crossed. Those thoughts followed them like a shadow. Every passing minute made them realize that keeping everything inside was becoming impossible. The explanation they have been holding back is no longer about regret. It is about honesty. It is about clarity. It is about finally allowing their heart to speak without fear. And what happened next caught even them by surprise. A completely unexpected sign appeared during the afternoon. Not loud. Not dramatic. Just one quiet moment that seemed ordinary to everyone else. But to your soulmate, it felt deeply personal. They immediately understood something they had overlooked for far too long. That realization changed the direction of their entire day. Since then, they have wanted only one thing: to explain. To be understood. To make sure you know what truly happened this afternoon. Because if they remain silent now, they fear you may never understand the reason behind the sudden change in their heart. Stay till the end. Don't skip. Something huge is waiting for you. The explanation is closer than you think, but before it can be revealed, another hidden piece of today's story must come into the light, and once you hear it, everything you believed about this afternoon will begin to make perfect sense. A quiet truth is beginning to surface, and this is where the story becomes impossible to ignore. Your soulmate has reached the point where keeping everything inside no longer feels possible. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Since that unexpected afternoon moment, they have replayed every detail over and over again. Every step they took. Every word they heard. Every emotion they tried to hide. The more they thought about it, the more one realization became impossible to escape. It was never about coincidence. It was about timing. For so long, they believed they still had endless opportunities to explain themselves. They believed another day would always come. Another conversation would always happen. Another chance would always appear. But this afternoon quietly changed that belief. Without warning, they understood how quickly opportunities can pass by when the truth remains unspoken. That realization stayed with them. Even after everything around them returned to normal. Nothing inside them felt normal anymore. Don't skip. Because what happened next made everything even more unexpected. As they continued with their day, another small event caught their attention. Most people would have ignored it completely. It seemed ordinary on the outside. Yet something about that single moment touched a place in their heart they hadn't visited in a long time. Suddenly, memories began returning. Not painful memories. Not dramatic memories. The quiet ones. The genuine ones. The moments that reminded them why your connection had always felt different. They remembered conversations that made them smile. They remembered hope. They remembered promises that were never completely forgotten. And then they whispered something to themselves that no one else heard. I finally understand. Those words changed everything. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Your soulmate is no longer trying to escape their feelings. Instead, they are trying to understand them. They have realized that some answers cannot be found by running away. Some answers only appear when the heart becomes completely honest. That honesty is growing stronger with every passing hour. They now understand there is something you deserve to know. Not tomorrow. Not someday. Soon. Because the explanation they have been holding onto has become too important to delay. Every moment of silence now feels heavier than before. Every passing hour reminds them that unfinished words deserve to be spoken. Don't skip. There is another piece you haven't heard yet. While reflecting on everything that happened this afternoon, your soulmate noticed something remarkable. Instead of feeling fear, they felt peace. Not because every problem disappeared, but because they finally stopped pretending they didn't care. For the first time in a long while, their heart felt lighter. That unexpected peace gave them the courage to move forward. It gave them hope that understanding is still possible. It gave them confidence that honesty can open doors that silence never could. And that confidence is leading toward one important conversation. A conversation they never imagined they would be ready to have. A conversation that could answer questions left hanging for far too long. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. The next chapter of this story reveals what finally convinced your soulmate that the explanation could no longer wait, and once that hidden detail comes to light, the entire meaning of this afternoon will become even clearer than before. A single decision has now changed everything, and this is the part your soulmate never imagined they would have to face. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. As the afternoon slowly faded into evening, your soulmate realized they could no longer distract themselves. Every attempt to focus on something else only brought them back to the same unanswered question. What happens if I never explain the truth? That question echoed louder than any conversation around them. They looked at everything from a different perspective. Suddenly, the small misunderstandings that once seemed impossible began to feel much smaller than the connection they still carried in their heart. For the first time, they stopped blaming circumstances. They stopped searching for excuses. Instead, they searched for courage. Don't skip. Because what happened next became the turning point. They quietly replayed one specific memory, a moment they had almost forgotten. It wasn't a dramatic event. It wasn't something anyone else would have noticed. But to them, it suddenly became the missing piece of a puzzle they had been trying to solve. They remembered the way hope once felt. They remembered believing that good things could still happen. And in that moment, they realized those feelings had never completely disappeared. They had simply been buried beneath doubt. That discovery surprised them more than anything else. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Your soulmate now understands that this afternoon was never just another ordinary day. It became the day that forced them to stop running from their own heart. Every hour since then has strengthened one quiet conviction. The explanation matters. Not because it changes the past, but because it could change what comes next. They have started imagining what they would say if they finally had the opportunity to speak openly. Not perfect words. Not rehearsed words. Just honest words. Words that come directly from the heart. They know honesty carries risks. They know vulnerability is never easy. But they also know that silence has already lasted far too long. Don't skip. Because another unexpected realization is about to appear. While reflecting on everything, they noticed something remarkable. Every road their thoughts traveled somehow led back to you. Every hopeful idea. Every unanswered question. Every quiet dream. It all pointed toward the same place. That realization filled them with both excitement and uncertainty. Excitement because they finally understood what truly mattered. Uncertainty because they wondered whether the opportunity to explain still remained. That question continues to stay with them. Yet instead of giving up, it has encouraged them to keep moving forward. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. There is one final piece from this afternoon that they have not shared yet. It is the one detail that transformed hesitation into determination. It is the reason they believe this explanation cannot remain hidden any longer. And when that final detail is revealed, you will understand why today's events became unforgettable, not because of what everyone else saw, but because of what quietly changed inside your soulmate's heart forever. Everything has now led to this moment, and the truth is closer than ever. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Your soulmate has reached a place they never expected to stand. The questions that once filled their mind have slowly been replaced by something much stronger. Clarity. This afternoon did not simply change their emotions. It changed their direction. For hours, they searched for one reason to remain silent. They couldn't find one. Instead, they found countless reasons to finally speak honestly. Every quiet moment reminded them that some connections never disappear, no matter how much time passes. Some feelings patiently wait until the heart is finally ready to understand them. That is exactly what happened today. Don't skip. Because another unexpected realization is about to unfold. As they looked back over everything that happened, they noticed a pattern they had completely missed before. Every challenge had quietly taught them something. Every delay had strengthened their patience. Every unanswered question had prepared them for this very moment. Nothing had been meaningless. Even the silence had a purpose. That realization gave them a sense of peace they hadn't felt in a long time. Instead of fearing the future, they began looking toward it with hope. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Then another thought entered their heart. What if the explanation I've been afraid to give is actually the beginning of something better? That single question changed everything. Fear slowly lost its power. Hope quietly took its place. They realized honesty doesn't guarantee every outcome. But honesty always brings freedom. And today, freedom became more valuable than hiding behind uncertainty. Don't skip. Because the next part of this story reveals the one discovery that removed the final barrier from their heart. They are no longer searching for the perfect words. They are searching for truthful ones. They understand that sincerity carries more power than perfection. That realization has filled them with quiet confidence. Now they are preparing themselves for the moment when every unanswered question can finally receive an honest explanation. The story is almost complete. The final piece has already begun falling into place. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Very soon, the hidden reason behind everything that happened this afternoon will be revealed in full, and when your soulmate finally shares what has been resting on their heart, every small detail from the beginning of this journey will suddenly connect in a way neither of you expected. The moment your soulmate has been preparing for is finally within reach, and this is where every unanswered question begins to find its place. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Since that unforgettable afternoon, they have carried one quiet promise inside their heart. No more hiding. Those 3 words have become stronger with every passing hour. The uncertainty that once controlled their thoughts has slowly disappeared, replaced by a calm determination they have never felt before. For the first time in a long time, they are no longer wondering whether they should explain. They are wondering how they can explain everything honestly. That difference changes everything. Don't skip. Because another hidden piece is about to be revealed. As they reflected on the afternoon, they realized there was one moment they had almost overlooked. It lasted only a few seconds. No one around them noticed it. But inside their heart, it felt unforgettable. They paused. They smiled without even realizing it. And in that quiet moment, they understood something that had been waiting to be discovered all along. Real connections are not measured by how often people speak. They are measured by how deeply they remember one another, even during silence. That realization gave them hope they thought had disappeared. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Now they are beginning to picture the conversation they have wanted to have for so long. Not a conversation filled with blame. Not one filled with regret. But one built on truth, understanding, and respect. They imagine finally saying everything they should have said much earlier. Every honest word feels lighter than the silence they have been carrying. Every truthful sentence brings them one step closer to peace. They know they cannot change yesterday. But they can choose honesty today. And that choice is becoming stronger every single moment. Don't skip. Because one final realization changed everything. They finally understood that waiting for the perfect time had only delayed what truly mattered. There was never going to be a perfect moment. There was only this moment. This realization removed the final hesitation from their heart. Now, instead of asking, "Should I explain?" they are asking, "How soon can I finally speak?" That quiet shift has changed the direction of everything. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. The story is almost complete. Only one final truth remains hidden. It is the truth your soulmate has protected since that extraordinary afternoon. Once it is finally revealed, every mystery, every silence, and every unexpected emotion from the beginning of this journey will come together in a way that feels both surprising and deeply meaningful. The final truth is no longer waiting in the shadows. This is the moment your soulmate has been moving toward from the very beginning. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Everything that happened this afternoon led to one unforgettable realization. Your soulmate finally understood that the silence between two hearts can sometimes become louder than words. For too long, they believed that waiting would somehow make everything easier. Instead, waiting only made one thing clearer. The truth deserved to be spoken. Every passing hour strengthened that conviction. Every quiet moment reminded them that genuine feelings are not meant to remain hidden forever. That is why they have reached a decision they never thought they would make. No more unanswered questions. No more wondering. No more hiding behind uncertainty. Don't skip. Because this changes everything. The explanation they wanted to give was never about defending themselves. It was about helping you understand what truly happened inside their heart. This afternoon did not change who they are. It revealed who they had been all along. Someone who cared more deeply than they were willing to admit. Someone who had been quietly hoping for the right moment to be completely honest. Someone who finally realized that honesty is always stronger than fear. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. As they looked back on the events of the day, they smiled for the first time with complete peace. Not because every answer had appeared, but because they had finally stopped running from the questions. That peace became their greatest confirmation. Sometimes the biggest turning points arrive without loud announcements. Sometimes they arrive through one quiet realization that changes everything inside. That realization has become the beginning of a new chapter. A chapter built on openness. A chapter built on courage. A chapter built on hope. Don't skip. Because there is one last message your soulmate wants you to hear. If you ever wondered whether this afternoon truly mattered, the answer is yes. If you ever wondered whether the emotions were real, the answer is yes. If you ever wondered whether the explanation was important, the answer is yes. Not because it rewrites the past, but because it opens the door to a future built on truth instead of assumptions. Remember this whenever life feels uncertain. The strongest connections are not the ones that never face silence. They are the ones that choose honesty when the silence finally ends. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. And here is the greatest revelation of all. The extraordinary event this afternoon was never simply about one unexpected moment. It was about a heart finally becoming brave enough to stop hiding. It was about choosing understanding over confusion. It was about believing that sincere words still have the power to heal, restore hope, and bring two hearts closer than they have ever been before. Carry that reminder with you. Some answers arrive exactly when they are needed most. Some conversations are worth waiting for. And some heartfelt explanations have the power to change everything the moment they are finally spoken. One final layer remains, and it is the part your soulmate never believed they would have the courage to reveal. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. After everything that unfolded, your soulmate sat quietly and asked themselves one final question. If I could say only one thing, what would it be? The answer came immediately. I want the truth to be understood. Not a perfect story. Not an unforgettable speech. Just the truth. That simple realization lifted a weight they had been carrying for far too long. They finally understood that genuine connections are strengthened by honesty, patience, and understanding. Every moment since that afternoon has pointed toward the same conclusion. The explanation was never meant to stay hidden forever. It was always meant to find its way into the light. Don't skip. Because this is where everything connects. The confusion. The silence. The unexpected emotions. The quiet moments that seemed insignificant. Every one of them became part of a much bigger picture. Your soulmate no longer sees that afternoon as a day of uncertainty. They see it as the day they finally became honest with themselves. And once that happened, every fear began losing its hold. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Now they are looking ahead instead of looking back. They understand that every meaningful journey reaches a moment where someone must take the first step. Today, they believe that step is truth. Not rushed. Not forced. Simply sincere. That decision has brought them a sense of peace they have not felt in a very long time. And perhaps that is the greatest surprise of all. Sometimes the biggest miracle is not a dramatic event. Sometimes it is a quiet heart finding the courage to be real. Don't skip. Because this message carries one final reminder. Never underestimate the power of honest words. Never assume that silence tells the whole story. And never forget that hope often begins with one simple decision to speak from the heart. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. The story that began with one mysterious afternoon has now reached its destination. What truly changed was not the world around your soulmate. What truly changed was the world within them. And from that moment forward, they carried one unwavering belief. The truth, shared with kindness and courage, always has the power to open the door to a brighter tomorrow. A new chapter quietly begins here, because the story did not truly end when the afternoon was over. It began. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Your soulmate woke up with a completely different perspective. The questions that had once filled their heart no longer carried the same weight. Instead, one quiet certainty remained. The truth has already changed me. That thought stayed with them through every moment. No matter where they looked. No matter what they were doing. They kept returning to the same realization. Some moments enter your life for a reason. This afternoon was one of those moments. Don't skip. Because another surprising piece is about to come into focus. Your soulmate realized they had been searching for signs everywhere, when the greatest sign had been growing inside their own heart all along. It wasn't a voice. It wasn't a dramatic event. It was a quiet confidence they had never experienced before. For the first time in a long while, they no longer felt trapped by uncertainty. They felt guided by clarity. That clarity brought peace. And peace gave them courage. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. As they reflected on every detail, they noticed something remarkable. Every challenge had prepared them to appreciate honesty. Every delay had taught patience. Every unanswered question had made the coming explanation even more meaningful. Nothing had been wasted. Even the waiting had served a purpose. That understanding filled their heart with gratitude instead of frustration. They finally accepted that every meaningful journey unfolds one step at a time. Don't skip. Because the next realization changed everything once again. Your soulmate imagined the moment when every misunderstanding would finally disappear. Not through extraordinary events. Not through perfect circumstances. But through simple, sincere words. That picture stayed in their mind. It gave them hope. It reminded them that authentic connections are built on trust, not assumptions. And with every passing hour, that hope became stronger. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. The story is nearing its greatest revelation. Your soulmate now believes that what happened that afternoon was not meant to create distance. It was meant to create understanding. It was the turning point that transformed hesitation into confidence, silence into honesty, and uncertainty into hope. The final chapter is still ahead. And when it arrives, every hidden detail from the beginning of this journey will come together, revealing why this unforgettable afternoon became the moment that changed everything inside your soulmate forever. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Your soulmate has now reached a place where there is nothing left to hide. The emotions that once felt confusing have become clear, and the silence that once seemed comfortable now feels impossible to keep. As they looked back at that unforgettable afternoon one last time, they realized something they had never noticed before. The most important moment wasn't the conversation. It wasn't the place. It wasn't even the timing. The most important moment was the instant they stopped resisting what their heart had been trying to tell them all along. That single realization changed everything. For the first time, they stopped asking, "Why did this happen?" Instead, they asked, "What is this moment trying to teach me?" The answer came quietly. It taught them that honesty always arrives at the right time. It taught them that genuine feelings become stronger when they are accepted instead of ignored. And it taught them that some people leave such a meaningful imprint on your heart that even an ordinary afternoon can become unforgettable. Don't skip. Because another hidden piece is about to be revealed. As evening settled in, your soulmate found themselves smiling without even realizing it. Not because every mystery had been solved. Not because every question had disappeared. But because they finally felt ready. Ready to explain. Ready to listen. Ready to leave uncertainty behind. That readiness became the greatest gift the afternoon could have given them. It was not loud. It was not dramatic. It was peaceful. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Then another realization appeared. They understood that fear had been asking them to remain silent. But hope was asking them to speak. For the first time, they chose hope. That choice filled their heart with quiet confidence. It reminded them that meaningful connections are never strengthened by assumptions. They are strengthened by openness, patience, and sincere conversations. Every memory from that afternoon suddenly made sense. Every unexpected feeling had been guiding them toward this exact moment. Don't skip. Because the story is almost complete. There is only one final step remaining. Your soulmate has already made their decision. When the opportunity arrives, they will no longer allow unanswered questions to stand between truth and understanding. They will choose honesty over hesitation. They will choose clarity over confusion. They will choose courage over silence. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. The final chapter will reveal the complete meaning behind everything that happened that afternoon. Every emotion, every pause, every unexpected realization will finally come together, showing that what seemed like an ordinary day quietly became the beginning of a completely new chapter for your soulmate's heart. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Your soulmate now understands why that afternoon could never be forgotten. It was never about one unexpected event. It was about a heart finally becoming honest with itself. For so long, they believed that silence would protect them. Instead, silence only delayed the truth. That truth has now become impossible to ignore. As they reflected one final time, they realized every step they had taken that day had quietly prepared them for this moment. Every delay, every unanswered thought, every unexpected emotion. Each one was leading toward a single realization. The explanation matters because the connection matters. That understanding brought a deep sense of peace. Not the kind of peace that comes from having every answer. The kind that comes from finally accepting what the heart has known all along. Don't skip. Because this is where everything begins to fit together. Your soulmate imagined meeting you again not to relive the past, but to speak with complete honesty. No masks. No confusion. No hidden feelings. Only truth. Only sincerity. Only the hope that genuine understanding can build a stronger tomorrow. That vision remained with them. The more they thought about it, the more certain they became that some conversations are worth waiting for because they arrive exactly when both hearts are finally ready. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Another quiet realization appeared. Your soulmate discovered that courage is not about never feeling uncertain. Courage is choosing honesty even when the outcome is unknown. That discovery changed everything. It replaced hesitation with confidence. It replaced doubt with hope. It replaced fear with quiet determination. Now they no longer wonder whether they should explain. They know they will. Don't skip. Because the final truth is closer than ever. The afternoon you have been hearing about was not the ending of a story. It was the beginning of a new chapter built on understanding. A chapter where misunderstandings no longer have the final word. A chapter where sincere hearts choose openness instead of silence. A chapter where hope quietly becomes stronger than uncertainty. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Only one final chapter remains. In that final chapter, every hidden thread from the beginning of this journey will come together. The reason behind the mysterious afternoon, the meaning of your soulmate's silence, and the explanation they have been longing to share will finally be revealed, bringing this entire story to its heartfelt and unforgettable conclusion. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Your soulmate has finally stopped asking whether their heart should speak. Now they are only asking when. That single change has transformed everything. The fear that once held them back has quietly faded. In its place stands a calm confidence they never expected to find. As they looked back one final time at everything that happened that afternoon, they noticed a detail that had been hidden in plain sight. It wasn't the words people spoke. It wasn't the places they visited. It wasn't even the events themselves. It was the feeling that remained after everything was over. That feeling never disappeared. It followed them into the evening. It stayed with them through the night. And when they woke the next day, it was still there. A quiet reminder that some moments are too meaningful to ignore. Don't skip. Because this changes the entire story. Your soulmate realized they had been waiting for certainty. Instead, they discovered something even more valuable. Trust. Not trust in perfect circumstances. Trust in the honesty growing inside their own heart. Once they accepted that, every unanswered question became less frightening. Every step forward became easier. Every thought about the future became brighter. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Then one final realization settled into their heart. Real connections are not built in dramatic moments alone. They are built through patience, through kindness, through understanding, through the courage to say what truly matters before another opportunity passes by. That realization became their greatest lesson. It became the reason they refused to let silence tell the rest of their story. Don't skip. Because the ending is almost here. Your soulmate now carries only one hope. That when the time comes to explain everything, those words will be received with the same sincerity with which they are offered. Not to erase yesterday. Not to rewrite every memory. But to create a new beginning built on truth instead of uncertainty. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Only one final chapter remains. It will bring together every quiet clue, every hidden emotion, and every unanswered question from this unforgettable afternoon. The complete explanation your soulmate has been carrying will finally come into the light, ending this journey with hope, clarity, and a heartfelt new beginning. My beloved child. This is the moment everything has been leading toward. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. From the very beginning, you have followed the path of one unforgettable afternoon. Every pause, every unanswered question, every quiet emotion pointed toward a single truth. Your soulmate did not leave that afternoon with all the answers. They left with something even more valuable. The courage to stop hiding from their own heart. That was the explanation they needed to discover before they could ever share it with anyone else. They realized that honesty is never a sign of weakness. It is the beginning of peace. They understood that waiting forever would never create the perfect moment. The perfect moment is created when someone chooses truth over fear. That is exactly what changed inside them. The silence that once felt safe no longer felt right. The questions that once felt impossible no longer felt overwhelming. The distance that once seemed permanent no longer felt impossible to cross. Instead, they found hope. A quiet, steady hope that sincere words can heal misunderstandings, restore trust, and open doors that once seemed closed. Don't skip. Because this final message matters. The afternoon you have heard about throughout this journey was never extraordinary because of what happened around your soulmate. It became extraordinary because of what happened within them. Their perspective changed. Their priorities changed. Their understanding changed. They finally accepted that some people leave such a meaningful place in your heart that pretending not to care is no longer possible. And with that acceptance came peace. Not because every challenge disappeared, but because they finally stopped running from what they truly felt. If there is one lesson hidden inside this story, it is this. Never underestimate the power of honesty. Never assume silence tells the whole story. Sometimes people need time to understand their own hearts before they can explain them to someone else. Sometimes the greatest turning points arrive quietly. And sometimes an ordinary afternoon becomes the beginning of an extraordinary new chapter. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. That something huge is not a dramatic event. It is the realization that genuine understanding begins when truth is spoken with kindness, patience, and courage. That is the gift your soulmate discovered. And that is the message this entire journey has been building toward. As you leave this story, carry hope with you. Believe that meaningful conversations still matter. Believe that sincere hearts can find clarity. Believe that every season of waiting can prepare people for moments of honesty and understanding. May your days be filled with wisdom. May your heart remain open to kindness. May you always find the courage to choose truth over fear, hope over doubt, and peace over uncertainty. Thank you for staying until the very end of this journey. And remember, sometimes the quietest moments become the ones that change everything forever.